Okay, so I am meeting you all for the first time. I have already conversed with the morning batch, but with the afternoon batch, this is my first interaction. So, very quickly, I would give you a brief about myself. I am Bhavika Batra, and I am an assistant professor at Bharati Vidya Peeth. It's been around 7 years that I am associated with BVIMR, and I take subjects like economics, statistics, mathematics, international business, and uh, today we are meeting virtually, but we are eagerly waiting for all of you to join college so that we can meet in person and enjoy our teaching learning experience. And I'm sure you people are also missing out on coming to college and enjoying your college life now that it is a new milestone that you have achieved. But nevertheless, we are doing our best to provide you best of orientation program, so that you can get to know the college better, the faculties better. And while we are giving our best, so I really wish and that you people are also enjoying your orientation program and learning through the various sessions that are being conducted. So today I'm here and I would be talking about time management. But what an irony! I mean, I joined in 10 minutes before to 1, and I still see people joining in, and we're talking about time management, and students are still joining in, not on time. But never mind, that's okay. It's a learning process. We are here to learn today, to learn about time management, and in times to come, I'm sure that we will all follow and respect time. And again, at Bharati Vidyapeeth, we are very particular with time. If in case the classes that starts at time, and if you're late even by 5 minutes, the teacher would not give you entry to enter the class. They would simply tell you to either go to the library or to the cafeteria and come join for the next class. So you will have to be very punctual. You will have to respect time, your time as well as the time of the faculty, right? So you will get to experience that soon. Fine. So let's begin with our session. There are some more people who are waiting to join in the lobby. Can you please allow them to enter?
Actually, ma'am, they are without names, so I cannot allow them in the class.
Fine. Yes. Okay, so let's begin with our session. Is the presentation visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
The topics that we will be covering in today's session, the agenda would be, we will be talking about effective time management. So we are all aware about this term called time management. We know a little bit about time management. So I want that you should all be interactive enough. You should share your inputs. I am learning from you. You are learning from me. So let's make it an interactive section. We will be talking about what do we understand by effective time management. Then we'll be discussing about that how to plan and prioritize. So in order to effectively manage our time, what is the relevance or importance of maintaining time logs and the to-do list or journals to say. And we'll be talking and discussing about various time wasters. So, wherein how we waste a lot of time. So, we'll be talking about those points. And then we will come to, after discussing that, what are the points wherein we waste a lot of time. And then we will learn that how we can effectively manage our time. So I will give you certain tricks and tips, and we'll be talking about certain principles like the Pareto principle, which is the 80-20 principle. We'll be discussing about the urgent versus important matrix, and also we'll be touching upon the concepts like being busy versus being productive. So these are the points that we would be covering in our today's session of 15 minutes. One request, can you all please mute yourself? I can hear some disturbance in the background. Okay, so what is time management? Before we begin, let's understand what it is. If you see, every one of us has those 24 hours in a day. Nobody has less, nobody has more. But there are certain set of people who are able to accomplish everything within those 24 hours. They are able to effectively utilize their time. They're very, very productive. They, whatever target that they set for themselves, they are able to achieve those targets and within those 24 hours. And they're very calm and composed, and you would never hear them saying that we do not have time. They're able to effectively manage time for their let's say your friends, their family, for their own self, for following their passion, and they're still able to contribute a lot of time to their work also. Right. While there are some other set of people who are always running out of time. They're squeezing in every possible thing within those 24 hours. They're always late towards approaching those deadlines, working till the last hour, and still cribbing, running from pillar to post that we do not have time. We have so many pending tasks and we're not able to finish off our work at time. So always complaining, and they're exhausted because they're not able to complete their work on time. Right. So these two set of people, but this they are completely, they're entirely different. But there is one similarity that we see, that both the set of people, they have the same 24 hours in a day. One set of people, they are able to effectively utilize their time, and the other set of people, they are juggling with their work. They are complaining and cribbing that we do not have time. So now what is the difference? So the set of people who are always able to finish their task well in time, manage out time for everything that they want to do in their life, they have certain goals, they're able to set out time or take out time for that activities and whatever they wish to do in life. So the that set of people, they know the importance of time, and they know how to effectively manage their time. So they're very good at it. They know the art of time management, whereas the other set of people, they do not know this art. So in today's class, my objective here is to bring out some uh, relevant points so that you can understand, you can learn that how we can manage our time effectively and be part of the set of people who never complain about time, who are able to manage, who are able to finish their task well in time, and who are able to take out time for everything in life. Let it be, when I say that a lot of people, they crib that we do not get me time, as in when the college would start. So you would be completely engrossed with your presentations, deadlines for assignments, a lot of CS activities, internal examinations coming up, university examinations coming up. So you'll be completely tied up, right? So before we know that something like this is coming, so we should know how to effectively manage our time well. Right. So before proceeding further, what I want you to do is that I am sharing one link with you in the chat box, and you click that link. That is a small quiz that has around 15 questions. I want you to take that. I want you all to take up that quiz and analyze for yourself that how effectively you know how to manage time. So you will get a score, and whatever score that you get, you have to share the score in the chat box. Fine. I will just share the, just a minute. I will share the link in the chat box.
मैम चैट बॉक्स का इसमें नहीं आ रहा माइक्रोसॉफ्ट जहाँ पे आप पढ़ा रहे हो
Yes, ma'am, नहीं आ रहा chat box का option.
Yes, ma'am, it's not
Yes, ma'am,
coming
because we have entered as a
Yes,
guest.
ma'am,
as a
it is not
guest.
available.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'll do one thing. Hello, ma'am. I'm the presenter. Ma'am, hello, ma'am. I'm a volunteer here, so I'll copy the link and send them in this WhatsApp.
Okay. Yes, please, you can do
Yeah, ma'am.
that.
Ma'am, yeah, I'm doing that.
एक टीचर से चेला बनेगा.
Has the link been shared in the WhatsApp group?
Ma'am, I've shared the link in this WhatsApp group.
Okay, so I'm giving you 5 minutes quickly, and just do the fill up the questions and tell me your score. You can share your score with me. So let's see who tells the score first. So those of you who've done those questions can share your score with me.
Ma'am, I got 75.
Oh, wonderful. Who is this?
Rakshit.
Rakshit. Oh, wonderful. 75 is a very, very good score.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I got 73.
Okay, very nice. Who is this?
I got 68.
Instruction.
Okay, 73, 68.
Mama, I got 64.
Sorry, come again.
82%.
Somebody got 82.
Yes, ma'am, I got 82%.
Is there an option of getting 82? Somebody got 33. Okay.
Ma'am,
30
I got 33.
got 33.
Ma'am,
Okay.
I got 59.
Ma'am, I
59,
got 60.
64,
61, ma'am.
Ma'am, I got
1,
40.
Ma'am, 62.
50, ma'am.
Ma'am, I
30,
got 52.
I got 64.
Ma'am, I got
54,
55.
64,
52,
25,
ma'am.
52. Okay.
55.
I got 57.
55,
I got
50,
51.
69, 62.
51. Okay.
Ma'am, 50.
Great. Great. Fine. So you can just,
Ma'am, I got
calculate this.
54.
Okay, fine, good. Had there been a chat box option, you could have written it there, but never mind. So people are sharing. Those of you, Tanvi says, Tanvi has shared her score. Abhishek Jain says 50. Very nice. Now let us see the interpretation of it. Somebody said 51, 75. I could see on the chat box. Students are writing, sharing their score. Muskan says 65, Pankaj 59. Very good. See, now let's try and analyze. Very, very nice. There are students who have scored as much as 75. So anything between 46 to 75 is a very, very good score. That means you're managing your time very, very effectively. So I guess तो फिर मैं आज जो भी पढ़ाने वाली हूँ वो तो आप लोगों को already पता है. You guys are doing great. You know how to manage time. Wonderful. Then there are those who scored somewhere between 31 to 45. You're good at some things, but there is still some room of improvement you can learn. Then we have people, few of them who scored between 15 to 30. So people who scored between 15 to 30, you really need to improve in
Ma'am, your
your.
voice is cracking.
Is it fine now? Am I audible, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So people who've scored between 15 to 30, they need to work upon their time management skills big time. Otherwise, those who've scored above 46, they are very good at it. But still, see, for each one of us, there is some scope of learning, some scope of improvement. Every day we get to learn something or the other. So, howsoever good your score can be, still out of the entire discussion that we do today, I'm sure you would be able to pick up something new and imbibe that in your daily life, wherein you will be able to manage your time effectively. Fine. Good to know all your scores, and there are students who are still writing in the chat box, sharing their scores. Very good. Okay, let's move further. Now that we know that, okay, we should manage our time efficiently, but what are the benefits of it? Why do we have to manage our time? बहुत time है, कर लेंगे जो भी करना है, but what are the benefits? So the first thing, we need to save time. So as we discussed when we started with our presentation, we discussed that there are two sets of people who are one who are always they are cribbing about time, that they don't have time, and there are others who are able to fit in everything that they want to do in their daily routine. So the first benefit is we are able to save time. That is what we are looking at, that we should have some time which we should be able to save, and we should be able to devote that time for our own self, what you call it as me time. So many a times you're frustrated because you're not able to take out time for your own self. You're so occupied. When your family needs you, you're there. Your friends need you, you're there. Your college work is there. You get into your jobs and all, so your time is needed, so you are so pressed for time, so you're not left with time for your own self. So one benefit of time management is you're able to save time. And when this would happen, this would automatically reduce stress क्यों होता है? One day before the exam, when you have so many subjects to study and you know that you have an exam tomorrow, so then what happens? Anxiety starts to happen, stress build up होता है, that oh my god, we are left with so less time but so much to do. So again, whenever whosoever is not able to finish their task on time, there are deadlines, assignment 12 o'clock se pehle submit karna hai, oh my god, and I have not even started with it, it is already 11 o'clock, how am I going to manage? So what happens? Stress, anxiety, so that starts to pop up. Then if we are able to manage our time effectively, then we are able to function smoothly. We know what time is meant for what task, and there is no chaos in our life. Our work output improves, it increases, our productivity increases. We are able to take responsibility of the job that is at our hand. We're able to control over that task that we are given, we are assigned. So if you see all the points, they are the byproduct of the previous point. So if you are able to finish off your work timely, then obviously you'll not have stress. Once there is no stress, you'll be able to function effectively, your productivity would increase, you'll be able to take control of the work that you're doing. It helps you to prioritize. We know that what we have to do, but still we're not able to prioritize what is important for us. So it will help us to prioritize, and we'll be able to do a lot of things in less time. Exactly, this is what we are looking at, that whatever we want to do, we should be able to have time for all those tasks, but within the less time. And once that starts to happen, it would improve our quality of work. I'm here not talking about the quantity. We may be doing 10 things, but हो सकता है 10 की 10 चीजें हमने अच्छे से ही नहीं करी. So I'm focusing here on more on the quality of work that we are doing. And surely it helps us to discipline our lives. So these are some of the benefits of time management. So now let's see further some more concepts of time management. See, there is a new theory that is coming up now, which talks about focus management. When we talk about time management, a very, very important theory that is associated with time management is focus management. If you see on your left hand side, there is a picture wherein you can see a few rabbits. So there's this theory of 9 rabbits. So if in case I leave you in a small place and I let loose some 9 rabbits and I tell you to catch hold of all the rabbits, so what will you do? You will frantically run after each rabbit. All the rabbits are hopping here and there, and you're not able to catch any one of them. You're running after one of them. Then you see another one. Can I ask everyone to please mute themselves? Yeah. So you will pick, you're running after one rabbit, and then you see there is another one who's close by to you. Then you just immediately leave that rabbit and run towards the other one. And similarly, in that particular fashion, you're not able to catch hold of any one of the rabbit. So what would be a better way to catch hold of those rabbits would be you concentrate on one of them. You focus on one of them. So you run after one rabbit, you catch hold of that rabbit, you put it in the cage, then you concentrate on the second rabbit. That is how you will be able to achieve your target, that is catching hold of all the rabbits. And so that is the reason there is a very, very beautiful quote given by Jack Ma. So we all know Jack Ma. So Jack Ma, he's a Chinese business tycoon, co-founder and former executive chairman of Alibaba Group. So he gave this quote that if there are 9 rabbits on the ground and you want to catch one, just focus on one. So one, the time you focus on one, you will be able to catch hold of every one of them. So with time management, what we need to learn is focus management. That instead of looking at 10 things at one go, we should focus one at a time, right? Let's move further. A very, very interesting concept, busy versus productive. A lot of time I have seen so many people saying that I'm very busy. I don't have time for anything in life. I'm completely busy. You call them up, they would not take your calls. You message them, they would not reply back, saying that we are busy, we are occupied. So when someone says that they're busy, are they actually being productive also, or they're just busy good for nothing? So being busy and being productive, there is a lot of difference in that. Let us see that what all is the difference point. So very nicely mentioned here are few points. So busy means frantic work, and being productive means we are doing focused work. So when you are chaotic, I have to study 6 subjects and I have an exam after few days. I pick up one subject, चलो आज मैथमेटिक्स पढ़ते हैं. मैथमेटिक्स पढ़ने लगे, नहीं 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 साइंस का बहुत ज्यादा सिलेबस है, चलो साइंस पढ़ते हैं. नहीं 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 साइंस नहीं, अब चलो स्टैटिस्टिक्स पढ़ते हैं, अब इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ते हैं. सो दिस इज व्हाट chaotic. You are very busy, you are taking up one thing, then leaving it in between, then taking up another thing. So you're not able to manage things, you're just working uh, in a very, very unplanned manner. Then being productive means focused work. You focus on one thing and you finish it off. Like in the previous example we discussed, so you are focusing on one rabbit, getting hold of that rabbit, putting it away, then focusing on the other rabbit. So take one thing at a time and then move on. So that means you're being productive. Being busy means working harder. So gone are the days of working hard. Now is the time to work smartly. So people who work smartly are productive. Many a times, usually once you join the corporate world, you would see that there are people, who are in jobs, and if in case the work timings are, let's say, 9 to 5, there would be certain people who would come on time, 9 o'clock. They would finish off their task, and be free by 5 o'clock and leave for from work, and they would be happy spending their evenings with their family. But at the same time, there are other people in the organization who stay back beyond their time also. They would want to stay back in the office beyond 5, working on some task or the other, and they would sit in the office till 9, 9:30. So they're working hard. So you can't say that they're not working. They're working very, very hard. But if you compare the productivity, the person who's left from office at 5 and is probably having a good time with his or her family has been more productive than the one who's staying back at work. So the era is not of working hard, but of working smart. And with all the technical support that we have, the technology is there, we can use that technology and work very, very smartly. And working smartly is actually being productive and not being busy. The next one, fueled by perfectionism. See, perfectionism is not at all bad, but you would see a lot of people who look for perfection in their life. They are most of the time cribbing because things are not happening the way that they want it to happen. So busy people, they want, everything should be perfect, but rather they are not thinking about the purpose. What is important is that what is the purpose? That right before the exam, my purpose is to study for the exam. I want to get good marks. That is my purpose. But when you're talking about perfectionism, you would probably want that, no, 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 अब मैं तो एग्जाम में बहुत अच्छे से सुंदर सुंदर सजा के हम लिखेंगे, तो बिकॉज आई वांटेड टू बी परफेक्ट, पर उसमें पेपर ही छूट गया. आपने perfectionism तो देख लिया, but your the purpose is lost. So purpose means again goal oriented, focused you should be. Then busy people, they want to try everything. They want to put their hands in everything. If in case you talk about your own self, I mean your student life, so probably you want to be a good singer, you want to be good at studies also, you want to be a good sports person, you want to be a good at extracurricular activities, you want to try everything. But being productive means you focus only on the important things. Yes.
Ma'am, I think the statement you gave related to the perfectionism, I think only those people want perfectionism who are really insecure of themselves. So they search for perfectionism so that they could feel better about themselves.
Okay, so yeah, a point taken, so there's another perception to it. Yes, absolutely. But so if in case you're trying to say that, okay, the finding perfection from others because they themselves are hollow inside, right? This is
Yeah.
what you want to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Okay, yeah. So that can be another perception that I take. Absolutely right. So, being productive means again we are concentrating on the important things. So, what is important at this point in time? We are only focusing on that rather than indulging ourselves into 10 things and again being, when asked about the outcome, so you have nothing in hand. So, that is being busy. Next is multitasking. So again, when you take up lot of things, you're multitasking, then there is obviously the depth would not be there. It would be shallow work. You're just touching upon everything, but when it comes to what it is said, master of none, and you a jack of all. So you know everything, but little bit. You can't say that, okay, this particular field I am thorough about it. No. So multitasking and shallow work is for busy people. And when we talk about single task, taking one task at a time and digging it deep, getting to know about it in depth is being productive. And the last one is absolutely the crux. Busy people are always rushing. They're rushing because they they are always I would say that they do not have that much of time in hand. They're always rushing, they're moving, and when they're rushing, they again are they get very exhausted because time in hand is very less and the task is very, very important. So they are always complaining, cribbing, exhausted. Whereas productive people, they're very relaxed. And if you see, with a very, very relaxed and calm mind only, you can be productive. How can you be creative? Have you seen all the creative people in the world? So people who are creative, they think from a very, very relaxed and calm mind. Then only those ideas would pop up into your mind. So this is very important. People who are productive, who plan things well in advance, they are relaxed and they are able to work towards their goal. Let's move further. So okay, I missed out on this. So it is not enough to be busy. The question is, what are we busy about? So again, we should not we should gradually move from being busy to being productive. That is very, very important. Now we will look at some of the points wherein we will discuss that how these points are deterrent in managing time effectively. So the first and the foremost is procrastination, and we can all relate to it. You many a times we procrastinate things. नहीं नहीं आज नहीं, अभी एग्जाम्स तो एक महीना बाद है, we'll study ना, कर लेंगे, अभी कर लेंगे. We keep on delaying it, probably because at times we get lazy. We think that the task is important to us, but ठीक है, बहुत time है, कर लेंगे. And what happens? Sometimes later becomes never. That thing never comes up only. I want to be fit. I want to go for jogging every day. I want to get up early in the morning. I want to practice my yoga or whatever. But आज नहीं, कल. And then कल करते हुए that day never comes only. So we are in a habit of procrastinating things a lot, many times. So procrastination is the enemy of success. So it will never ever help us to achieve the goal we want to achieve in life. Why? Because we're always postponing it. कर लेंगे, that वो कर लेंगे वाला day never comes. And it happens with almost all of us. We agree to that. Next is distractions. Okay, so if you see the picture on the left, we can see ourselves in that. Huh? So we want to study, we have a book opened in our hand, but our mind is flying. Huh? It is dreaming, and we are wondering, we are in a different world altogether. And the biggest distraction, our all these social media, social networking sites, Facebook, Instagram. I posted a picture on Instagram. Let me just see how many likes have I got. Oh, this person has not commented, or probably I was expecting a good comment from this person. Oh, this person has written this, or let me just see what is happening with my Facebook account or my Twitter or whatever. So this is, our mind is always distracted. I wanted to sit and study for an hour, but a phone call came and I started gossiping with my friend. Another distraction. So we are surrounded with a lot of distractions while we want to concentrate on a particular thing. And you would all believe it that most of our time goes in all these distractions which are absolutely of no use to us. Sorry. So um so these distractions, we need to really manage them. We really need to keep a check on them. And now again, there are wonderful apps wherein you can track that how much time you've spent on Instagram, or how much time you've spent on Facebook, Twitter, and you can see that on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. And then you can, take up these small challenges that, okay, so every day for 1 good hour, I'm not going to touch my phone. I'm going to away from all these social networking sites. And trust me, for that, you'll be at peace. You'll feel good about it. And slowly and gradually, you can start increasing that time. Whenever that I sit for studies, I will keep my phone in my drawer, or I would give my phone even to my parents, if in case you have a habit of scrolling your phone just like that, just want to see that what is a new feed that has come up. Sorry. So you can just keep those distractions away. So mobile phone is the biggest distraction, so stay away from that. So don't let your emotions distract you from doing what needs to be done. Control your emotions, or your emotions will control you. पढ़ने बैठे पर मन नहीं कर रहा है. So मन नहीं कर रहा है is nothing. So then what is happening? Your feelings are controlling your actions. So you should never let that happen. So your emotions should not distract you, right? Next is priorities. many a times we're not able to prioritize. We know we want to do something in life, but we're not able to find out time for that thing. And a very, very powerful quote, just read this: nobody is too busy. It's just a matter of priorities. If anyone says that I do not have time for a particular thing, that means that particular thing is not a priority only. That thing is not there in your list. You don't want that to happen. When someone says you that, I am not able to get time for my physical activity. I want to go for a run, I want to go for for cycling, I want to practice my yoga, I want to go to the gym, but I'm not able to take out time for that thing. So that means you're not giving priority to that particular thing. So there has to be priorities. You need to fix that up for yourself. And priorities can keep on changing from time to time. So what is at the task at hand, similarly aapki priorities can also change. Next, worrying. Very, very common a thing. Many of the times we just simply worry. Oh my God, 10 days to exams and I have so much to study. कैसे होगा? क्या करेंगे? कब time निकालेंगे? Constantly worrying, cribbing. कैसे करेंगे? कैसे करेंगे? So worrying takes you nowhere. But what takes you towards your goal is action. जितना टाइम हम चिंता करने में निकाल देते हैं, उतना टाइम अगर हम एक्शन ओरिएंटेड हो जाएं तो थिंग्स वुड चेंज, right? So worry is a total waste of time. It doesn't change anything. If we think that by worrying, something would happen or whatever we want to do would appear to us, and God would say, come in front of us and say that, okay, why are you worrying? What you want? Okay, so wo Aladdin ka chirag, and here it is. No, that is not going to happen. Worrying would not take us anywhere. All it does is steal your joy and keeps you busy doing nothing. You busy, you're not being productive, and what are you busy with? You're doing nothing, absolutely nothing. Worrying doesn't take you anywhere. Disorganized. So again, a very, very common a practice. We are at times disorganized. We know what we have to do, but we do not have a plan in hand. And so many a times, if you see, it happens with us that we don't keep our things at the right place. We don't know what we have to do. If I ask you that, okay, what is your schedule for tomorrow? What are you going to do? And if your parents, they ask you that, okay, can you just tell me what is your schedule for tomorrow? And you'll be like, what schedule? ठीक है, टाइम घर पे है, हम तो लॉकडाउन है, कॉलेज जाना नहीं है, क्लास कर लेंगे जब भी करनी होगी. So we are disorganized. We do not have a set plan. So that is again a very, very big deterrent towards leading a very, very effective time managed life. So a disorganized workplace means disorganized work habits. A sloppy work environment equals sloppy results. So whenever we are disorganized, the results would also be like that. Very laid back, very sloppy, that things would happen on its own. It is not going to happen. So we need to take charge of it. Now we've discussed the problems. So what are the possible solutions? So the first trick or the tip that I would like to give, start maintaining time logs. A lot of people amongst you would have this habit also of, if you have this habit of maintaining a log of very, very good. If you do not have this habit, start preparing one. Even if your mobile phones and all, you have this option of preparing the to-do list. Start get into the action of preparing to-do list, or maintain a diary, or have a proper schedule. It is very, very important. If you note down things, you will not skip things. Many a times we have so much going on in our mind that we miss out on important things. So if it is the moment it clicks your mind that, okay, this needs to be done, just pen it down, just note it down. Very, very effective a habit. And how to do it? Step one, capture everything you need to do. So whatever comes to your mind, just do it. So this is a step one. Step two, prioritize it. So something which is very, very important, mark it as A. Something which is less important, mark it as B. And something which you need is important but is not very, very important, not very urgent, then you can mark it as C. So, you can put star marked and make some things that this is very, you can all probably write it as very important, important, or like that, whatever is convenient to you, but give them priority. Then step three, Also mention the deadline, that okay, this is very important, I need to finish this task before 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or this might take a little more time, so I'm going to finish it up by tomorrow. So give deadlines to each task. And very, very important, strike off what has been done. So out of the 4 tasks, if you've done the first task or any one of the tasks, strike it off. It would give you a sense of achievement. And at the end of the day, if you see that, okay, I had written 5 tasks, out of those 5 tasks, I was able to achieve 4 of them, you feel good about yourself that, okay, I've not wasted time, I've utilized my time effectively. So get into the habit of preparing a to-do list or a journal. Next is chunk, block, and tackle. A lot many times it happens that there are tasks which are given to us, and we think that we probably underestimate ourselves that, oh my God, how am I going to do this? 5 days to exams, and I have 10 subjects to study, so many assignments to be done, so many deadlines to be adhered to. This is absolutely not possible. I can't do it. A whole we feel bogged down कि कैसे होगा. So a trick here is chunk. So break that down into smaller pieces, that okay, 10 subjects, 5 days to go, probably I'll pick up 2 subjects every day and prioritize that, subject first and then the other two and so on. So break it into smaller parts. Block. Block means assign a date, assign a deadline to it. When am I going to do it? So these 2 subjects to be done today, the other 2 subjects to be done tomorrow and the day following and so on. You can block the date and then tackle it. Tackle it means take one step, one subject or 2 subjects at a time and finish it off. So break down the project, set time limits, avoid interruptions, and tackle one task at a time. So look at this beauty, the whole staircase.
Ma'am, your voice is cracking a lot.
Is it fine? Because the network connection is completely fine at my end. If in case that is happening, you can log out and rejoin.
Okay, ma'am.
So if you
Ma'am, we
thought that I
tried, but
was,
still your voice is cracking.
is it fine now?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. So you
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. So if there is a whole lot of stairs that you have to climb, so you'll be initially only you'll be bogged down that this is not possible. But if you take small one step at a time, then you will reach the top and you'll be happy, you'll be glad to know that you've achieved it. So whatever the big tasks are, just break it down and try to achieve one at a time. Next, you must have heard about this, you must have seen this, that there is this urgent important matrix wherein you have 4 quadrants, and you need to identify the difference between what is important and what is urgent. If you know the difference between important and urgent tasks, then you have mastered the art of time management. So you need to identify your tasks. All your tasks would fall either in any one of these quadrants. So the first quadrant, if you see, that is urgent and important. Second quadrant, not urgent but is important. Third quadrant, urgent, not important. Fourth quadrant, neither urgent nor important. So for example, you have an exam tomorrow. So exams are important also and urgent also because it is tomorrow. So you do it. You start practicing for it, or you start with your preparation. You can't delay it. You just have to do that task. Second, you know that exams are important for you, but they are, after 1 month. So it is important but not very, very urgent. So then you need to meticulously plan for that, and most of the time you should lie in this quadrant, so in order to manage your time effectively, if you're falling in this quadrant, that is perfect. When you know these things are important but not urgent, you have sufficient time, you have planned for it, so then it is very good. You're able to manage your time well. Third, you know that the things are urgent but not very important. For example, your parents have given you a certain task which is urgent, but at the same time, you have an exam tomorrow. So you have given priority to your exam. So then probably you can delegate the task. You can delegate it to your sibling or to your anybody else in the family, or you know that it is an urgent task, but what is important to you right now is preparation for the exam. So thereby you can delegate your work. And the fourth one, something which is not important, something which is not urgent, even probably checking your Facebook account or Instagram account or checking various mails, so that can be done at your own convenience. So those tasks you can eliminate, you can find out time in your leisure time and do those tasks. Next is Pareto's principle. This is a 80-20 principle, and in case of Pareto principle, it is said that most of the time, most of the effort that we put into a certain activity, uska output बहुत कम होता है. So if you see this picture, so 80% of the effort you're putting, so the blue segment that you can see, the 80% of the effort that you're putting is resulting into only 20% of the outcome. So that means most of the time you've spent on something wherein the result or the outcome is very, very less. 80% of your time you are spending in some activity where the output is just 20%. Whereas 20% of the effort, if you put in certain activity, that may result in 80% of the outcome. So you need to identify for yourself that what is important in your life and wherein you need to put that 20% of the effort, which can give you 80% of the result. And this Pareto ratio, 80-20 ratio, works everywhere. So many a times it happens that most of our time we just waste in those activities which are not even important in our life, which are not even fruitful. And जहाँ पे हम थोड़ा सा भी एफर्ट लगाते हैं वहां पे बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट आ सकता था, that we have missed on. So this thing we need to be careful about. Next, this is also another important tip to remember how we can overcome procrastination. First is delete. So there are certain tasks which gets carried over. You know, kal karenge, parso karenge, 1 week to another week, 1 month to another work. So those tasks which are getting carried over, that means they are not of much importance. So those tasks are not meant to be only. So then you can delete those tasks. Next is delegate. Obviously you cannot be an expert of everything, so there are people around you, you have friends, you have family, wherein so those tasks which you think that you're not good at, you can delegate it to someone whom you think is very good at that particular task. You can't accomplish everything by yourself, so start delegating. The third one, let's do it. Something that needs to be done needs to be done. So simply don't procrastinate, just do that task and get over with it. Next is the 15-minute rule. 15-minute rule means that just analyze the task. If you think that task can be done, can be finished within that 15 minutes, so do it. Do not procrastinate it. But if you think that the task would take a little longer than 15 minutes, then probably you can delay that task for later and then assign a deadline to it. Next is the chop it up. Chop it up, we've already done. So whatever are the bigger tasks, break it down into smaller assignments or tasks, assign a deadline to it, and achieve one task at a time. The next one, ask for advice. So it is never, you cannot know everything. We cannot be accomplished. You know, so always wherever you are lagging, you need some help, you should always ask for advice and try to manage your time. Next is clear deadlines. So whatever, adhere to the deadlines, prepare a to-do list and follow those deadlines and accomplish the task. The next one is reward. This is also very, very common. Many of you would have seen the people who follow diets, you know, health diets. So they would, Monday to Friday, they would be on a very, very strict diet, but Saturday would be a cheat day. Today we can eat whatever we wish to. So one way of doing, following a task is that, okay, you associate a reward to it. If I finish this off, I would reward myself for that thing. If it works for you, follow this policy. And the next one is remove distractions. So whatever distractions are there in our life, we need to first identify that, okay, yes, this is a distraction and we need to remove those distractions. I would just like to end it with a story. So this story is where a philosophy professor, he was taking a training session for few students, and he had an empty jar, and in that empty jar he filled up some rocks, some big pieces of rocks, and he asked his students that, do you think that the jar is full? So the students said, yes sir, we cannot see any space and the jar seems full only. So then he said, okay, fine. He took some pebbles, some small stones, and he poured the pebbles in the jar, and the pebbles could nicely fit in the space between the rocks, and it went inside. Now he asked the students that, do you think that the jar is full? So the students said, yes sir, we cannot see any space. Yes, whatever space was there is being filled by the pebbles. Then he further took sand. He poured the sand inside the jar, and he tilted the jar, and the sand could also, uh, the sand also made space in the jar and could fit into the jar. So this is how all three things could fit into that jar. And this jar is like our life only. This is the time that we have. And what do? We generally move in the opposite direction. We first fill it up with sand. So if it is filled with sand, then there is no space for pebbles and further no space for rocks. So but ideally what we should do, so something that is very, very important for us, some priorities that we have, we should make time for that first, then some less prior tasks, and then some other leisure and distraction activities we can then fit into our time then. So instead of moving from right to left, we should try to move from left to right. So first try to fit in the priority, something which is very, very important in our life. Try to schedule those tasks first. Then some less important tasks which might be urgent, then try to fit in that. And the third, wherein some distractions, you want to check your mails, you want to check your social networking sites, or some leisure activities that you want to indulge into, then you can try and fit in that. So if you remember this, you would be able to prioritize it well. Hereby, I thank you all for being a good, patient listeners, and I'm sure that you must have benefited from this discussion. Anywhere, any point that you would have taken would make my task fruitful. Any point taken, imbibed in your life, and would go a long, long way, and would help you to manage your time effectively. And I would just like to end with this quote that time isn't the main thing, it is the lead thing. So remember and manage your time effectively. Good luck to all of you, and we are just waiting for all of you to join in college, and we are hoping for things to get better and seeing you in college. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Thank
ma'am, can we leave?
Yes, you can leave.
चलो हो गया हाँ भाई राम से मैं उसको वही पूछूं मेरा हो क्यों नहीं रहा है